You can train shredding your Summerboard anywhere, even inside your house or garage. In this video, we're going to review a few practice drills that you can do even in the tightest of spaces, including a bonus drill that's so difficult, mastering this drill means mastering the board. Oh! Hey everyone, Aaron here, founder and CEO at Summerboard. Just like snowboarding, the Summerboard takes skills to ride. And a lot of our riders get stuck indoors due to poor weather and they don't want to get rusty. Luckily, there are a few drills that you can do even in the tightest of spaces, like a kitchen floor or a garage, and not only keep your skills, but even improve your skills during periods of bad weather. In this video, we're going to go through 3 drills that you can do even at your desk, including a bonus drill that, if done properly, will have you completely master the center balance on the board. The first drill we're going to do is a figure 8 challenge. And this is a drill you should do all the time because it's really great at mastering your turning on both edges and switching edges and really developing that center balance you need to shred this board. Here we have taped off a 10-foot square equal to a 1-car garage or half of a 2-car garage. Don't worry if you don't have a garage, because our goal is to reduce this square to only 6 by 6 feet. We're going to start off with heel and toe side turns and your preferred stance. I'm a goofy rider, so I ride with my right foot forward. If you're new to snowboarding, you might want to warm up with some large circles on your heel and toe side before trying this drill. As we trace our figure 8, we want to keep a low speed, which is really going to help develop balance, since balance at slow speed is much more difficult. Ride these figure 8s until they're smooth as butter. Throw in some style or even some grabs as you get more comfortable. Now that we've gotten comfortable in the larger space, let's increase the difficulty of the challenge by making the square even smaller. Once you've mastered the figure 8 in your preferred stance, you can mix it up to where you're only practicing heel side turns or only toe side turns. Presses are some of the most fun and challenging skills to have in your trick bag. This simple drill will get you started on presses. Pressing on a Summerboard is surprisingly easy because with each press, you form a tripod of support that you can lock into as a balance point. But before we get started on concrete, we're going to practice on carpet because that makes learning a lot easier. Another thing to know about learning presses is that you have to find that balance point. And in finding that balance point, you're definitely going to fall at least once kind of backwards on your wrist, so you definitely want to use a wrist guard, at least in that learning process, because let's face it, you're just going to fall at least once or twice. We're going to start by rolling the board forward to get the wheels pointed in the right direction. Start using a wall or a chair for support. Position your foot as close to the edge of the board as possible. You want your body weight to be directly over that back truck balance point. Slowly lean back until you feel the edge wheels touch the ground. Now the tripod has been formed. Notice how this is a pretty solid balance point to hold that you really get locked into nicely. Practice holding this balance point with a wall or a chair or a desk to support, then eventually remove the support and get in and out of this balance point on your own. Personally, I always keep my board near my desk and practice this skill even when taking hauls. Once you're 100% confident and comfortable on carpet, it's time to try on pavement. For safety purposes and to make bailing super easy, you might want to consider removing the footholds during the learning process. You don't need them for presses. Now we're going to try this rolling for the first time, and especially now it's critical that you use a wrist guard because we're not going to be using a chair, we're going to be rolling, and you're definitely going to fall a couple times as you dial in that balance point. Start at a slow speed so you can easily rock into that balance point. Keep practicing until you can hold that balance point for the entire length of your practice area. Even if you don't have space for practice, the balancing in place on carpet or concrete can really help you dial in this balance point for presses. Now let's move on to the next drill and learn how to ollie. And this is going to open up a lot more riding terrain as you're going to be able to jump on and off different surfaces and on and off curbs. Ollies are critical for shredding and opening up more terrain by freeing yourself to jump on and off different surfaces. This drill will work on your ollie skills. For your very first ollie, we want to get started on carpet before we move to concrete.
And this is going to make things a lot easier and safer getting started. And for this skill, you're definitely going to need to have the footholds installed.
Start with a balance point on a wall or a desk. Get into your most comfortable stance. An ollie is simply not jumping with the board. This is bad form that will lead to small jumps with bad balance and style. The proper form of an ollie starts off by lifting your front foot first to create the initial lift, followed by your back foot, which creates the peak of your ollie. This form is critical because it creates a balance while you're in the air and also clears the nose of the board from hitting anything you might be trying to ollie over. As you come down for the landing, you want your arms out for balance and to land with both wheels hitting the ground at the same time, with your weight straight over the board. You don't want to be too far forward, which is going to pitch you forward, and you don't want to be too far back, which will do the same thing on the opposite side and pitch you back.
Now we're going to try our ollies on concrete, and don't forget your helmet or wrist guards.
I like to have a slow rolling start rather than jumping in place on concrete. I find that a slow rolling start gets my brain and body into riding balance mode. You can also try without using a remote control and just pushing off a wall for that slow roll the first time you try it. When you start to integrate the remote control, let off the throttle in the air so that you land with the motors in neutral. This is the easiest way to land an ollie. Keep practicing and film yourself while you do this so you can review your form and tune in your skills.
Now we're going to move on to the next and most challenging skill that's really going to work your balance and awareness on the board. Now, I have to admit, this is a skill that even I have yet to develop, and I've only seen one person do it successfully. That's how difficult it is. Now, the idea is to do a 360 in place. I can only get about a 180 around. I've been working on this, and I'll show you how to do it, but it's a weird drill that you don't even need any battery power for. And if you can learn how to do this, you'll completely master the board. It's also best to not have the footholds installed so that it's easier to jump on and off. Now, you're gonna start off in your preferred stance, and you wanna start with the center balance on the board. Now, everybody has a preferred way that they spin. I'm gonna spin backside to my left in this direction. And so to initiate that push, I'm gonna put my toe edges on the ground and then transition to the center as I turn. Now the first challenge is just to do a 90-degree turn. So start off here, just do a clean 90-degree. And once you get comfortable and you're not jumping off, we're going to go for a 180. Oh! Dude, that's the closest I've ever come. Oh! Okay, as you can see, this is a very difficult drill. Keep the footholds off so you can keep jumping off, and just keep practicing, because if you can get that smooth turn all the way around 360 without tipping over or falling off, you will have mastered the center balance on this board. Now, with any trick, there's kind of doing the trick, barely doing it with the flappy arms like I was just doing, and then doing it with style and grace and mastery. So obviously I have a long way to go, but I'm pretty excited that I came pretty close to getting that 360. And just like any other trick, you'll get it, you'll lose it, you'll get it again, and you'll lose it again, and then one day you'll just have it. I hope you had fun and found these skills helpful. We're going to be releasing new skills and tutorials, so be sure to like and subscribe to this channel with notifications, and you'll be the first to know and master these skills before the next kid on your block. Stay safe, keep shredding, and we'll catch you next time. We want to see your skills on these drills, so send us your clips on these challenges, and we will feature you on our channel.